Episode 27 is dedicated to Coach Phil Stevens, Coach Phil Stevens. He was my coach in high school. We lost him last week. May he rest in peace. So this weekend we're playing in the Skills Center's annual May Day tournament. And to get ready for it, I figured that we'll have white versus orange scrimmage. I had, Coach Jarvis actually coach the orange team, and Coach Willie coach the white team, two of the parents, and let them slug it out. So for the orange team, Xavier Greer has been suspended because of some disciplinary actions in school, issues in school. So. Philon makes that orange team go. And as you can see, without him, they really struggle against white, especially breaking the pressure. And, one of our primary principles is never allow teammates to fail. And I had a long talk with Xavier, and by him not doing what he's supposed to do in the classroom, he allowed his teammates to fail out there today. And, he might not be able to play in the tournament this weekend. It's up to his mom. And she's going to have a conference with his teachers. If that conference goes well, then he'll be able to play. But if not, he's going to have to, sit there and watch his teammates, battle without him. Most of my boys have been playing together since second grade. Sterling Brigade is a brand new team. They're just starting out. So we had a bit of an advantage over them. So for my boys to, make it competitive for them to get something out of it, I made them play without dribbling. They still were able to do pretty well. Now, one thing about Sterling Brigade, as this tournament went on, from what I saw, it looks like they got better after each game. I'm really looking forward to seeing the progression of this team. Coach seems like he knows the game very well. It's a team I like.
No.
always play very well against Manatee Powell. I think it's one of those matchup things. Defensively, they use their hands a lot on defense, and we've been fortunate enough to have refs that, you know, make that call when we play them, and you know, it gets them in foul trouble and it hurts them a bit. It got a little chippy at the end where, you know, they were doing, you know, had some couple flagrant fouls and everything, but I mean, overall, I mean, we always play very well against Manatee Powell. So next up, the Orange team plays Team Knight, which is Brandon Knight's team of the Phoenix Suns. Now, the first thing I noticed about this team is they're huge. I mean, they have some really big boys, and man, let's see what it do. I actually looked at the U.S. amateur rankings, and they actually bumped us out of that 3rd spot in the state. So they're now ranked number 3 in the state. They bumped us to the number 4 spot, at least the white team. So Orange has a first. I really need somebody to start growing, man. These boys are huge. And I think one of our parents was like, man, how old are those boys? They're too old. And Team Knight's parents was like, he's 10, they're 10. And so we were like, yeah, right.
Let's go!
So I'm a coach that demands energy and effort, and as you can see, Big Lewis is putting out no energy, no effort at all. And you know, and I'm tough on them when they don't put out that energy and effort that I'm looking for. So I pulled Lewis, and Lewis is the biggest kid that I have on either team. And to prove a point, I subbed my smallest player on the team in for Lewis, which is you know, Amari. And Amari went to work, man, off top.
Good job, Mari! Woo!
So at this point in the game, we're down 20, and I told the team, like, look, if we're gonna lose, if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down fighting. So everybody get a man. Let's get after it. Let's see what these guys are made of. Let's see what they do. our man-to-man pressure gave them a little bit of, gave him a little bit of trouble. But Orange was actually able to, cut it to 11 at one point. And so, they pretty much established a blueprint for when, if the white team has to meet up with them in bracket play, we're going to go man and see what they need.
Catch the ball.
This was one of those, it's hard to coach your own kid game. JoJo's out there, he felt like he wasn't getting calls going this way, and I got on him, and he felt like there was going to be some dialogue back and forth with me and him. And I told him, like, look, I benched him for the rest of this game, and after the game I told him, like, look, if you ever do that again, you will not be on this team anymore. You can go play for somebody else. Daddy will still support you, but you will not play for me, because I don't allow any of these other kids to talk back and have that dialogue. Why would I allow my own kid to do it? What kind of message is that sending? And so he was like, well, who would I play for? I'm like, take your pick. BWB, Balkman Elite, LX Elite. I mean, you just let me know what you want to do, but you won't be with me. And that's if they would take you. No coach wants a kid with a bad attitude. I know I don't.
Good job!
So we get a rematch with Hoops on a Mission. This is a game that we want, that we were really excited about them jumping in our tournament so that hopefully the white team can get some get back. And, we were able to, jump out on them, throw some different defensive sets at them. But that one kid they have, number 8, man, until he got in foul trouble, he was keeping them in it. That kid, I love his game, man. He just plays very hard. He has a toughness about him. He goes after every rebound, can finish around the basket. I like that. So because the Orange team lost to Team Knight, now in the Final Four, they have to we got another Civil War, White versus Orange. And I think one of the worst things that could have happened is for White to blow Orange out that Wednesday. Because if I know the White team how I think I know them, they're going to just think they can just show up and win this game now. And Orange doesn't back down. And Xavion's playing this time, and it's not going to be as easy as they think. I was going to spend a lot of time talking about how horrible these refs are. I mean, there really needs to be a culture change in Tampa with these officials. I mean, these guys were awful. And the gym that we were playing in earlier, the air conditioning went out, so it was very hot. So our games was moved over to the skill center, and we had these two refs over there. They had been, officiating all day, and this was the last game. So they were ready to go, and it was clear. I mean, they weren't calling jack. I mean, this team Knight has some really big players, and we were attacking them. I mean, I was a shot blocker my whole career, and the best way to attack a shot blocker is make him be a shot blocker. Attack, attack, attack. So we're attacking him. They're hitting us with the body in attempts to make the block, but they're not making the calls. So I'm not going to talk a lot about these refs at all, but if you watch the clips, you'll see throughout the whole game, they were missing calls where they were hitting us, where we should have had a lot of and ones or, being on the free throw line. But then in the very end of the game, you're going to see where we started doing the same thing, and particularly my son. Once he loses his mind, he gets it honest, but he lost his mind at the very end, and he just starts going wild and fouling, and they weren't calling anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, one, what are you teaching the kids by doing that? And two, somebody's going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it with these refs, man. I just don't get it. They need to find a new profession, man. They really disrespecting the game by calling. Now check this out. This is what I'm talking about with these refs. I said I wasn't going to talk a whole lot about these refs, but the one time that we get a really good box out on one of these kids, they called a foul on us. The kid jumps on his back and falls on top of him. I mean, am I tripping? Yeah, right. 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 So at this point of the game, JoJo gets hurt. He can't shoot his free throws. So I have to pick someone to shoot free throws for him. Now, so much is going through my head at the time. On one hand, I'm thinking Jacob Douglas. Jacob Douglas is not afraid of the moment. The kid has ice water going through his veins. He loves high pressure situations as far as when the game is on the line. So I'm thinking put him in. But Jacob's one of the smaller players on the team. So if Jacob does miss, now we have to go down and defend, and I'm too small out there with Team Knight having these giants out there. We'll be at their mercy. Number two option is Deion Pierre. Deion Pierre has good size, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter. He's been hitting his free throws all weekend. So if we do miss, now we have size to be able to defend as well. So I went with that.
Y'all get your rules. bust up. Get ready. Get ready.
So at this point in the game, what happened here was I was trying to tell the ref, as soon as we get the rebound, I want a timeout. But all he heard was timeout, and he was trying to give me the timeout, and I was at my last timeout. So I was trying to explain to him, why would I be calling a timeout right now? That makes no sense. I'm trying to tell you that as soon as we get the rebound, I want a timeout, you know, so that he can hear me, so we won't lose any time off the clock. And so that's what was happening.
That's why refs
Called smart coaching. Smart coaching. That's what it is. Teach him how to walk.
Thank you.
So I don't know if Team Knight's kids was older or what. I mean, you know, in all seriousness, I don't know if they were older or what. But one of the parents did say, "Hey, we went to check in. It ain't our fault they did their job." And then my parents got all fired up. But you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. They put their kids on the court. We put our kids on the court. And at the end of the day, we still got to find a way to win that game, and we should have won that game. You know, there was a lot of mistakes made from a coaching standpoint, and you know, a player standpoint. But, you know, that comes with the territory.
Yeah, right.
I say all that to say this. Man, that was a good game, man. Believe that. But my rant is over. Philon out.